General Hospital spoilers for Monday, March 24th reveal that Lucky is standing at the most significant emotional crossroads of his life, a moment where, no matter how hard he tries to keep his distance, the memories, wounds, and unresolved feelings for Liz are gradually resurfacing, clearer than ever before. After all the years apart and wounds that time seemed to have healed, a big question is being raised that Lucky can no longer avoid. Is there still a chance for him and Liz to start over? Or will they continue living with unsaid words and unresolved emotions, just as they have for so long? Liz, no longer the woman chasing after the past, has become someone who actively faces the future. She no longer wants to remain stuck in the gray area between relationships. After all the losses, especially the painful journey of fighting for her children and herself, Liz has come to realize that she deserves clarity, especially with Lucky, the man who once held her heart in a way no one else could replace. But in order to open up to a future, she needs something certain, a heartfelt confession from Lucky that he is ready to adjust everything for her, or not. That's why Liz wants to know the truth, not just the facts or reports, but the truth about Lucky's heart, about the change within him. She wants to know if the person he has become still has a place for her in his life. She wants to know if Lucky is living in the present or still being held back by past failures and old regrets. And if there is still a chance, is he ready to step out of that darkness and walk with her into a new journey, a more mature, grounded love? Meanwhile, Lucky isn't standing still. He feels the shift in Liz, from the way she looks at him, to the deep questions she asks, and even the silence when she stands by his side. No words are too clear, no actions are too intense. But there is one undeniable truth, the feelings between them have never faded. Lucky may have gone far, tried to build a separate life, but his heart still holds a special place for Liz, a place no one can replace, no matter the time or distance. However, that love comes with its own obsession. Lucky has never forgotten the mistakes of the past, the times he hurt Liz, the moments he left when she needed him most. He fears that if he returns, he will just cause more pain. But now that fear is being tested because Liz is no longer the vulnerable woman she once was, and he is no longer the man full of self-doubt. They have both grown and changed, and those changes could lay the foundation for a new romance, if they both have the courage to try again. Complications are also arising from unresolved emotions. Lucky is not the only one entering Liz's life. Her life is full of relationships being nurtured, work, children, and even those who have tried to fill the gap left by Lucky. He can't just show up and expect everything to be the same. But this realization forces Lucky to think more seriously. He knows that if he doesn't act, if he doesn't speak from the heart, the one chance to start over will slip away, and this time, it will be forever. Liz and Lucky's future is being rewritten, not with old promises, but with actions. By facing their obsessions, confronting their wounds, and speaking the truth. And amidst this emotional whirlwind, a new romance is quietly being confirmed. Not an old relationship rekindled, but a love reborn from old lessons, nourished by maturity, forgiveness, and understanding. If Lucky dares to put his heart on the line again, if Liz trusts enough to give him another chance, the couple that once captivated so many viewers may write a new journey, one free of the weight of the past, and full of hope for the future. And Port Charles, which has witnessed their many separations and reunions, may soon witness a completely new chapter in their love story, between Liz and Lucky. This time it's real, deep, and forever. Nina is stepping into an emotional and strategic storm she never expected. After many efforts to make amends and rebuild her mother-daughter relationship with Willow, she thought she had found a part of peace again, but a new obsession is forming, not from the outside, but from Willow herself. The deep wounds Willow has experienced, particularly the losses related to her health, family, and betrayed trust, have left scars that are not easy to heal. And now those scars are returning like a nightmare, bringing consequences Nina was not prepared for. Though she tries to show care gently and subtly, Nina cannot deny that she has always been trying to do the right thing, trying to control the situation to ensure she isn't once again pushed out of Willow's life. But this effort, when it doesn't come from understanding but from fear, is creating a quiet rift. Willow, who is trying to rebuild her life, begins to feel pressured by Nina's controlled acts of kindness. The trouble starts with small things, an unexpected gift, unsolicited advice, or a presence that is too frequent, but all these are pushing their relationship further from a healthy path. Nina starts to realize that the carefully planned scheme to be the ideal mother for Willow is slowly losing control. She thought that if she did everything the right way, no pressure, no deep interference, Willow would eventually open up. But instead, the silence and growing distance in Willow's eyes is leaving Nina in an emotional state of turmoil. She begins to feel abandoned again, and that fear, the fear of losing something precious just as she gets close to it, is turning into a real obsession. At this moment, a new shock is quietly unfolding. The signs of instability in Willow's mental state, from mild panic attacks, sleepless nights, to feelings of insecurity, are beginning to spread, and Nina is the first to notice. But instead of becoming the healing companion, Nina unintentionally becomes the trigger for this instability. The untold troubles between the two of them have grown to the point where Willow can no longer distinguish between genuine care and controlling behavior disguised as maternal love. This is pushing Nina to her limit. The plans she has quietly laid out, from connecting with Michael to find an opportunity for access, to secretly doing charity under Willow's name to show her care, now not only fail to work but risk being exposed as manipulative and insincere actions. The trouble is no longer just about mother and daughter. It has become an internal battle between unresolved wounds and the fear of being forever rejected. Nina's plan, based on hope and pain, is now truly exploding. It is not only threatening to make her lose Willow once again, but it is also pushing her into a deep self-doubt. Is she really doing the right thing? Or is she breaking everything again, despite her good intentions? Each next step will be crucial. Nina must choose, continue to try to hold on to what cannot be controlled, or let go a little, step back, and give Willow time and space to decide if she is ready to forgive and accept her mother. Because if not, the fragile relationship between them won't just crack, it will completely shatter. Sidwell, a name that, not long ago, was mentioned only as a peripheral figure, a shadow lurking behind the powerful forces of Port Charles, is now stepping into the light in a terrifying manner. He no longer hides behind covert operations or ambiguous alliances. Now, Sidwell is publicly executing a systematic attack plan, designed with sophistication and ruthlessness, targeting the weakest points, the most vulnerable people, and even the seemingly unshakable pillars of this town. The fear isn't in how Sidwell appears, but in how he constantly changes. His new behavioral traits and strategies show that he is no longer a simple enemy. He is a man calculating every step with the precision of a machine. In a short time, he has completely adjusted his approach, from indirect threats to direct attacks, from sowing fear to creating actual disasters. Sidwell doesn't need to declare war. He lets his actions speak for themselves. And each action carries a deadly message. Deaths begin to emerge, some deemed suicides, some mysteriously disappear, and some incidents that seem like accidents. But when the pieces are connected, they all point to one name, Sidwell. His new plan is adjusted to exploit the complacency of those at the center of power. He doesn't attack the most protected places, but instead, he strikes where trust is strongest. A doctor is poisoned in the hospital, an explosion occurs in a quiet residential area, a once close ally of Sunny is eliminated in broad daylight, all part of a strategy to create instability, make people doubt each other, and slowly destroy the foundations of Port Charles. What is particularly dangerous about Sidwell is his ability to build his network. He doesn't operate alone. He recruits those with unhealed wounds, souls easily manipulated, and even the most seemingly normal people. No one knows how many people he has bribed within the judicial system, healthcare, media. But one thing is certain, he is everywhere, quietly manipulating information and controlling the flow of events. Sidwell also understands that in order to cripple Port Charles, he needs to do more than spread death, he needs to kill trust. And that is where he truly explodes. He brings up hidden secrets, reveals private conversations, spreads information that makes friends doubt each other, and pushes once unified families into internal conflict. Even the strongest, like Sunny, Carly, and Jason, begin to feel the cracks. They don't know who to trust, how many people around them have already been touched by Sidwell. And while they are still meeting, arguing, and trying to protect each other, Sidwell keeps moving forward, step by step, victim by victim. The particularly brutal aspect of his plan is that he doesn't kill to threaten. He kills to build. Each death is a link in a new order he is establishing, a Port Charles no longer belonging to the Corinthos family, no longer about love, no longer about honor, only power, fear, and obedience. And what makes it even more terrifying is that no one knows who Sidwell will target next. Is it a member of the Spencer family? Someone investigating him? An innocent child just because they're connected to a bigger target? New deaths are being planned. Everyone is a target. Port Charles has never faced a threat like this, someone who doesn't need a reputation, doesn't need a deal, and doesn't need a legitimate reason. Sidwell doesn't kill for revenge. He kills to control. And now, he no longer needs to hide. He's here. And the darkness he brings is only just beginning. Anna is entering an inevitable phase, where everything she once trusted, from her professional instincts, personal feelings, to her ability to control the situation, is slowly becoming fragile. A surprising piece of information was just sent to her, carrying a violent wave that disrupts both her mind and her faith as a pillar of justice in Port Charles. And the focal point of it all? Valentine. For a long time, Anna and Valentine's relationship has been intertwined between duty and emotion, between a past full of complications and an unclear present. Anna once tried to believe that despite the mistakes, despite the misdirection, Valentine was still the man struggling to become a better person. But the information she just received paints a completely different picture, a picture full of twisted, chaotic, dark lines, and more dangerously, intent. No longer just a series of random shady acts or things done out of desperation, what Valentine is doing now is a calculated plan, with a roadmap, and above all, a specific goal. Recent, crazy actions, such as helping dangerous individuals escape, manipulating information in the police system, or infiltrating sensitive areas like Windmere to gather classified data, are no longer spontaneous decisions made in the heat of the moment. They are steps taken in a bigger plan, possibly aimed at the collapse of Port Charles. Anna feels betrayed, but more than that, she feels trapped in a maze with no escape. She is slowly losing control, something she has always prided herself on as her greatest strength throughout her life. Each new piece of information that opens up leads to a chain of events that was never predicted, a forged document in the WSB archives, a doctored video to undermine key figures in the town, and especially money being transferred to a series of international accounts linked to underground terrorist organizations. All of it bears Valentine's mark, or at least, his protection. But what puts Anna in a more serious position than anyone else is the personal relationship between her and Valentine. She is not just someone investigating a traitor. She is the only one who knows the hidden corners of his soul, the pains he never expressed, the memories they once shared, and the times he risked everything for her. This is what tears her apart, between fulfilling her duty as an agent and protecting someone who once held her heart. The deeper Anna digs into the investigation, the more she realizes she has little time left. Signs suggest that Valentine might be secretly cooperating with the forces behind Pikeman, even being connected to Brennan, a dangerous enemy that Anna once considered one of the greatest threats to the town. If this is confirmed, not only will Anna's reputation be shaken, but she will also be put in the crosshairs of people who were once her teammates, even branded a traitor in the eyes of the community. Meanwhile, Port Charles begins to feel the undercurrents more clearly. Unexplained explosions, mysterious disappearances, and a sudden increase in violent acts across the town, all signals show that a force is gaining ground. And all clues point to one place, a man who knows too well how to manipulate the system, how to exploit trust, and who has enough charisma to lower everyone's guard, Valentine. Anna must make a decision. She can continue to pretend that this is just a misunderstanding, that Valentine can still be saved, that she still has control over the situation. Or she must become the leader in a campaign to stop him, even if that means directly confronting the man she once loved. A new complication is not only exploding in her work but also within her heart. And in a cruel twist of fate, the information Anna holds could also be the key, or the fuse. If she doesn't act in time, Port Charles could collapse from the inside. And if she makes the wrong move, she could be seen as an accomplice, someone who once lost justice because of her emotions. Amidst the rubble of broken trust and a storm of distorted information, Anna must rise, not only as a seasoned agent but as the only one with a chance to change the course of events. But to do so, she must bet everything, even her heart.